Hello everyone, Timely Matter here, back in another video. This time it's the Ferrari F80. So if you've been wondering why I haven't been posting any videos lately, any mocks lately, it's because I've been finding a lot of people have been trying to plagiarize my work and passing it off as their own and even trying to sell it. And to be honest, I've just been really frustrated by this, and I don't want to let other people have my own designs and try and make money off of it. If you've tried to build any of my mocks and just keep it for yourself, that's fantastic. I love that. But building it for money and trying to sell it as your own design is completely unacceptable. So I've been trying to keep my mocks under wraps. And I've built over the past few months the Bugatti Tourbillon, the Mistral, La Voiture Noire, Aston Martin Vantage, the 2024 edition, and the DBS 770 Ultimate as well. Now, I'm gonna keep those under wraps, but why have I decided to show you the Ferrari F80? This is a very special car to me because obviously everyone loves the special edition Ferrari cars, and I'm not immune to that. In fact, the LaFerrari was the car that sort of made me like supercars in the first place. The LaFerrari is such a beautiful car. Why did I decide to do this one then? Instead of the LaFerrari? Well, first of all, we've got some fantastic LaFerrari mocks already for the Speed Champions scale. You can look at NV Car Mocks, for example. He has a fantastic LaFerrari. And it's an old design, but honestly, it stands the test of time. And I think you can even get that his instructions for that for free, if I'm not mistaken. So the reason why I decided to do the F80 is because there have been many spy shots of the Ferrari F80 going around Maranello in camouflage wrap, but with the final body panels for a few months now. So I saw this as an opportunity for me to build a mock that is truly my own. I've noticed that when I build other mocks, I noticed that I've been taking inspiration from other people, whether intentionally or subconsciously, because obviously a lot of people have made many wonderful mocks of other cars before me, and personally, I take a very long time when I create my mocks. I would say the average duration that I spend for each mock is in the sort of 60 to 100 hours of work in each mock. And so it's very difficult for me to come up with a mock if the car has been released, because people will always beat me to it. And it's not about getting the most clicks or anything. I don't make money from my YouTube channel. I don't sort of sell instructions or anything like that. I just wanted to see what I could do with a design that's purely my own. So I started building this mock in early September, and actually late September, sorry. And I finished this about a few days ago. I finished the body, and yesterday I just applied the stickers, erased some prints. You can see this canopy here is from the Aston Martin Speed Champions set. I've just erased all the green prints around the sides. I just kept the roof print. And I've got some stickers here to sort of create the entrance of the Nacodoc there. And obviously the logos as well. So first, let's start with the front of the car. The front of the car is very interesting and arguably probably the most controversial section of the car because of the visor. That's what Flavio Manzoni, the head of Ferrari's Design Styling Center, calls this sort of front headlight section. Obviously the headlights are just here, but sorry for moving the camera. It connects with this black bar here. But that black bar has a functional element to it. It's actually with this other section here, a sort of secondary S-duct, which is when air can get inside this section and exit over the car and create some downforce. But then you've got obviously the major S-duct here. The reason why there's such a big gap is because this is what it's like in the real thing. And you can just imagine air rushing through this front of the car and going up and over the canopy of the car, creating that downforce that allows this car to create some insane lap record times. Now, you'll see that from the front of the car, you can see some inspiration taken from the Ferrari F40 as well, especially here with this very straight cut that's so jarring. But I think it's a very wonderful design that harks back to obviously the last non-V12 Ferrari Halo car. I think it's a very smart decision to make this sort of tribute to the Ferrari F40. Another thing is that we've got obviously these intakes here, which are at the bottom. I'm not sure what these are for. These could be for cooling. And this is quite a common feature in many cars like the Murcielago and the Zonda, and I've sort of incorporated this subassembly here with the slopes in those MOCs as well. If you go back to my Murcielago video or my Zonda F video, you see that I've done something similar and then angled the door inwards as well. And you see up here, we've got the Nakaduck inspired intakes, right? So if I turn the car closer to the camera, you can see the shape of that. And you can just imagine air leading from the side of from the S-duct around the canopy and then into the engine. I feel like this design here might have been a bit overcomplicated, but I really wanted to get that gap that's in this sort of triangular section here to feed in the twin turbocharged V6. Now, speaking of the engine, we see the engine cover here, faithfully recreated with the 6 vents, obviously a signal to the 6 cylinders of the engine. And if I just push this up here, I can just remove the engine cover, and you can see not only a representation of the engine, but also angled not 90 degrees, but 120 degrees, just like the twin turbocharged V6 that powers the Ferrari F80. And then we've got some piping here, which leads to the exhaust. So if I just put back the engine cover real quick, you can see the rear of the car with the central exhaust, and also at the bottom, the massive diffusers, the twin diffusers on either side that are just really big and sort of facilitate some of the downforce that the car has. Now, obviously, most of the downforce comes from the rear wing, and the rear wing is now in its upward position. There is no mechanism that I've integrated to this, so there is an alternate subassembly that can come in to have the wing in the sort of down position, which I'll do right now. And here we have the rear wing in its retracted position. With the retracted position, I've been able to, with help of some clear pieces, actually make the wing look thinner, which I think makes it look a lot more sleek as well. Of course, in addition to the fact that the wing's actually down. And one of the things I also forgot to mention is actually how much I think this sort of hatch for the engine cover is just so convenient. Sometimes if you're thinking about how to make a complex hinge mechanism to make something fit perfectly, you could also just consider not having any hinge at all and just letting the piece sit there by framing it with a very snug exterior around the subassembly. So I thought that was really fun. Now let's get into the interior. I already have one minifigure, a driver, sitting inside of the car, like that. And there is actually room for another minifigure. And what's funny about this is how the minifigure actually sits very far forward with their legs underneath the dashboard. It requires some disassembly, admittedly, to get the minifigures to fit in, because this MOC is based on a custom chassis that's 2 plates thick. So the space in terms of height for minifigure accommodation is very heavily compromised. And the minifigures, that's why they have to lean back so far. But personally, I'm very committed to trying to accommodate minifigures in my MOCs. So as you can see, I've just placed the development driver inside the car, and I'm just fitting subassemblies around her. Even with that sort of thicker hair piece, you'll see that this the subassemblies will fit in perfectly around her and actually still accommodate her hair. So I'll just place that there. The engine cover back, and finally the canopy as well. And there you have it. You've got 2 minifigures, obviously albeit lying down, but it's sort of a nod to the real car, where the driving position is also very sort of far forward and the real car is also very low. So there you have it. This is the Ferrari F80. Finally, I want to do a quick comparison to my Ferrari Daytona SP3, obviously another very expensive Ferrari car. I just put them next to each other there, and I think they look great next to each other, especially with the yellow Scuderia shields, the logo of course, and the black, the yellow calipers as well. The yellow calipers I think match great with both the red and the gray, but also it matches with the logos as well. So I think the choice of the yellow brake calipers is very suitable for this. So there you have it. This is my Ferrari F80. I'm not going to be posting a lot of my MOCs, as I've alluded to earlier in the video, but from time to time I will have some special cars that I will want to show you guys, and I hope you look forward to those. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.